watching Ask Profit, a show that gets all your stock-related queries answered, whether they're fundamental or technical. For you viewers who are just tuning in, you can either call us or WhatsApp us on the numbers that are flashing on your screen right now. We're also joined by Ajit Mishra, SVP Research, Religare Broking, is joining us now. Very good morning to you, Ajit. I'll take the next query. Ajit from Chennai is writing in, and he's a long-term value investor, is what he's saying. His query is on Hindustan Petroleum. He's bought around 600 odd shares in the last 2 months, and his timeline is up to March 2027. He's invested at the price of 388, and he wants to know whether this is a good time to buy more in the current market situation to average, or should he sell now and re-enter, and if yes, at what price? Now, since he's a long-term investor, but his question basically is, at the current level, should he average or sell and enter at the current levels? Ajit, I'll come to you. On the charts, how is HPCL faring, and what's the right strategy to adopt?
Good morning, Mishra. So, Mishra, since he has already a decent amount of investment in this particular stock, and we are seeing that the trend is still negative for most of the ONCs, including HPCL. Stock has recently slipped below its crucial support zone on the weekly chart as well, around 300 areas. There is a possibility that the stock might, drift further lower. But since the overall, reading says that the stock is extremely oversold, so possibility of some consolidation is also high. So maybe we can see some consolidation around 280 to 300 zone in the coming days before any meaningful next direction move. So as of now, I would not recommend him to add more. He can stick to his existing positions. For fresh buying, any dip towards 260 or a reversal above 320. Only in that case, he should attempt for adding more to his existing position, otherwise avoid.
Okay, all right. So that's a view on HPCL, and a comprehensive one. And we've got a next caller on, and Suresh is calling us from Chennai, asking about the hospitality space, I should say. I got it all wrong. Hi, Suresh. Good morning, and how can we help you today?
Good morning to each one of you on the call there. My query is regarding East India Hotel, EIH Associated Hotel.
Yes.
Yes, I am at a profit level, but I've been noticing that the price has fallen from like upwards of 360 to around 307.
Yes.
So my concern is it going to slide further, or can I say, hold on to it for the next 6 months to 12 months horizon, so that it goes back to the 350 plus range?
Okay.
Thank you.
So since it's a relatively short-term question, let me go across to Ajit on this one. Ajit, on the chart, as he's pointed out, he's still in the green, but he's concerned it's only about 7 rupees or so from his buy price. So should he hold on from the perspective of 6 months to 12 months?
Right, Derek. So, yes, the sector, in fact, most of these stocks, if you see that be it Indian Hotel, Taj GVK, EIH, they are doing fairly well in comparison to the other counters in the mid-cap and small-cap space. But the situation is that still we are seeing that rotational selling pressure is emerging across sectors, and that might cascade to hospitality also in the next, possible downmove. So my recommendation would be to maintain his buying price as a stop loss or around 300 area in EIH, because it's a low volume counter. So possibly a break below 300 might result in a decline towards 270. So for fresh entry, a dip towards 270 is a good area to look out for. Or, in case if it manages to hold the 300 level, then he can stay put.
All right, so that's the view with respect to EIH. And we again joined by Anil Sharma, who's from Jammu and Kashmir. Anil, a very good morning to you. I believe you have a query on Voltas, and me and Alex were discussing that I don't think you need ACs in Jammu and Kashmir at all. Okay, I think we've lost the feed again, but we'll ask him this question certainly.
Why don't we ask the question in any case?
Yeah.
And usually a lot of people have this thesis, right? Mahima, you consume products and you think, okay, you understand the company, you understand the demand, especially if you consume it yourself.
Right.
But then it's ironic that somebody tuning in from J&K is thinking of the AC. Maybe he understands exactly what it means to stay cool in summer. as a result of which he says practically nowhere else in the country is going to be as comfortable.
I think he's already seen that heat waves are already being issued in Feb itself in Mumbai, and I think AC sales are definitely going up, and that's why he wants to know whether it's the right time to buy Voltas or not. On the charts, Ajit, what do the charts suggest? Because, you know, for the share price itself, if we can pull up the 6 months intraday chart as well, you know, they've seen a certain downtick, and this is because as compared to Blue Star, they've lost market share as well in Q3. But with respect to charts, how is it faring, and what are the resistance and support levels that you're observing?
Right. So, Mahima, it's been almost 2-3 months now that stock has been witnessing correction. But the good part is that after retesting its neckline area of its previous consolidation zone around 1200 mark, the last week we were seeing gradual recovery despite the overall negative sentiments in the market. Last week also we saw the short unwinding plus the stock reclaiming the short-term averages, and today we are seeing the impact of it, means the stock is up in the down market by around 1.5%. So I feel that there could be a bit of time-wise correction or consolidation from the current levels, but seems like the base is in place now. So with stop at 1150, definitely he can go ahead and accumulate the stock in the mentioned range around 1300 and 1350 for the potential target of 1500, 1550 in the near future.
All right. There's an interesting question, and I know I want to talk about DLF next, but there's an interesting question coming from Jagdish. And apart from the stock that he wants to know about, he said, when will this market correction end approximately, and the complete portfolio green to red has taken place? And I can only commiserate. And unfortunately, all I can say is that almost everybody else tuning in is also seeing similar situation playing out on a portion at least of their portfolio. I'm not sure if Ajit has a view on this one. Is a bottom being found at some stage? Last week we were talking about possibly some signs pointing to a bottom, but then those have fallen through the floor. Ajit, if you can call it that, what are you looking at the charts and suggesting? Because for the Nifty 50 at least now we've gone into oversold, right? If you go by the RSI.
That's true, Alex. In fact, we have seen 5 months of successive decline. The February month, roughly around 5.5% kind of a cut, and the last consolidation range, the decisive consolidation that market witnessed, in the range of 21,800 to 22,500 zone last time in the month of March to June in 2024. We have entered into that category, zone now. So I believe that this area, 21,800, 22,000, is the only hope that we have as of now, considering that it's extremely oversold. We have multiple supports on the weekly charts, be it a trend line or a moving average, retracement. So everything is planned or placed, but it's just that market is not at all in a mood to value those support as of now, because last week it was IT which was beaten down badly among the sectors which were holding strong. Now we are only left with banking. So I believe 47,500 mark in the banking is going to be as critical as 21,800 in the Nifty index. So if we manage to hold these levels, definitely there could be a possibility of a rebound.
All right, and hopefully that rebound should come, as soon as possible, and probably the portfolio will again turn back to green.
Right now, today, we are 30 points away from 22,000 on the Nifty 50, and
something to be watched out for. We have our next caller, Vipul from Ahmedabad is calling in. Vipul, a very good morning to you. How can we help you?
Good morning, madam. Alex, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
I am Vipul Seth from Ahmedabad, holding Sian Limited, 35 shares.
Okay.
At the average price of 1785.
Okay.
And it's reference to previous discussion. One veteran last week that only God and liars know where is the bottom and top of the market. Can you comment on that?
All right. So, interesting one. Ajit, I'll take this up with you. Cyient Limited is the counter. What are the support and resistance levels looking like, and what's the outlook like with respect to the charts?
So, Mahima, we have seen a sharp correction in this quarter. Means the stock is down roughly around 33% so far, and we are trading below all the major averages when it comes to the multiple time frame as well. So the next support comes around the neckline area of the previous consolidation around 1100, 1120 zone. So if his view is short term, I would recommend him to reduce his position and wait for any dip towards 1100 mark and or any sign of reversal pattern formation. So as of now, indications are in the favor of retesting 1100 levels soon, and upside 1300 is going to be the stronger resistance area.
Okay, all right. So that's the view on Cyient. Quite a lot of news flow for Cyient, by the way, with regard to management changes at the end of Q3, and so let's see how that pans out for them in the fourth quarter onwards as well. KV Ramana is writing in from Visakhapatnam, and he's asking about GMR Airport, which he's holding for the last 6 months, and he's bought at levels of 79 or thereabouts. The stock is trading below that at 69 rupees. He's got 650 shares. Should he hold or sell? I'll come back to you, Ajit, on this one. What would you do with this?
So GMR, the pace of decline has reduced, Alex, in the recent times, means the stock is still trading below the short-term averages, but in the last 5-10 trading sessions, we are seeing this narrow range consolidation in the range of 68 to 78. So volume has also dried up a bit, so this indicates a kind of a seller exhaustion. Possibly, once we break this 71, 72 area, we can see a shift rebound towards 75, 78 levels. So as of now, I would recommend him to stay put with 66 as a stop loss. For fresh buying or adding to his existing position, he can wait for a breakout above 72.
All right, that's the view with respect to GMR Airports, and hold is the view coming in from Ajit. The next caller, Murli from Bengaluru, is calling in. Murli, a very good morning.
One, and quite a few of these capital market-facing stocks have also taken a beating. This is a stock that he has bought at an average price of 2,701. The investment amount is about 97,000 or thereabouts. The stock is currently trading at 1,987, so he's incurring a loss at this point. He's wondering what to do after the decline today, 8.5% or so. Can a recovery be expected, or is it wise to do a sector rotation and move out from capital market plays is a question. It's an interesting question, Ajit. From a chartical perspective, you saw BSE crack on Friday. The stock is under pressure today as well. Angel One under pressure today. I guess the thesis is that some of these capital market players are going to take a beating when the participation is not going to be as strong as it was perhaps 6 months back. So what would you do with something like this? Would you sell and exit?
So Alex, that's true that in the last week itself, most of the platform stocks related to capital markets, BSE, MCX, Angel, all were under pressure. And if you see that overall the outperformance is still intact if you compare it with the other sector or stocks. So my recommendation is that if the view is short term, anyways, we are seeing pressure across the board. So it's not different to see most of these names also witnessing pressure in the current leg of the decline. For Angel, I believe that 1840, 1830 is the next major area, and possibility of testing that mark is high. So as of now, definitely he can reduce his position, wait for any dip towards 1830, 1840. In case if it manages to hold this area, then he may add to his existing position. Otherwise, he can completely reduce.
All right. So that's the view with respect to all of these capital market players. Angel One down by about 8% as we speak. All right. The next caller, Deep Shah from Kolkata, is calling in. Deep, a very good morning to you. I believe you.
Mangalore, and Movin is writing in asking about Rain Industries. He's bought 5,000 shares at a price of 145. The stock is currently at 120 or thereabouts, and he's wondering what the view is and what the call is for the next 12 months or 1 year. Ajit, on the charts, would you say that it makes sense to hold?
So Alex, the stock was experiencing a very tight range consolidation, in the last 2 years. Post breakdown in early January, we are seeing that the trend has again, pointing towards further consolidation, and maybe this time the price-wise, the correction may also extend towards 100 to 90 zone. So my recommendation is to reduce at current levels or completely exit at current levels, considering that the underperformance is likely to continue, even if the stock finds some support around the current area. It's likely to hover in that range, in the range of 130, 140 on the higher side, and around 100 to 90 on the downside.
Alright, so that's the view with respect to Rain Industries. The next counter that we're talking about is KRN Heat Exchangers. Vishwanath from Dubai is asking this. He wants to have a view from a longer term perspective. Saurabh, if you have a view on this particular counter, what's the view like and what's the outlook like for the company?
Not covered this stock.
Alright, and I don't think we have enough data on the charts as well, Ajit, if I'm not wrong, for KRN.
Yeah, so we have limited data, but comparatively, as per the available information, it still shows positive trend. So as of now, he can stay put if the view is short term with 750 as a stop loss.
Okay, all right. Alexander Cherian is writing in from Kerala and asking about MobiKwik, which he has bought the rapid fire segment. And by the way, this means, gentlemen, that we'll be throwing as many questions as we can over the course of 2 minutes at you. Do keep your answers as concise as possible. Cochin Shipyard. This is a question from Rajendra, who is writing in from Andhra Pradesh. He's bought at levels of 2,755. It's a considerable loss at this point. Would you hold or exit? Would you shift to something like a Reliance Industries? Ajit?
I would recommend to hold with stop at 1100.
Alright, Tata Power is the next counter. The person's holding at 420 a piece. Should he continue to hold, Ajit, on the charts?
Book profit or exit, it looks further, weak, maybe around 320, 310 is something that the stock might test.
Okay, Equitas Small Finance Bank losing about 40%. Arun wants to know, would you hold or sell? Ajit, on the charts?
Hold and maintain a stop at 50. In case of bounce around 60-65 zone, exit.
Alright, so Hail wants to know whether Mukka Proteins is a good counter to enter right now. Ajit, on the charts?
It's not in the coverage, so I can't comment.
Okay, Subex.
Counter, what are the levels that one should make an entry? Naresh is asking. Ajit, on the charts?
Around 38 to 4,000 he should accumulate.
Okay. Taking a hit today as well, 4.5% down at this point. Saurabh, as well as Ajit, thanks so much for joining in, for answering all the questions that you did. Always a pleasure having you. All right, and that brings us to the end of this edition of Ask Profit from Mahima and myself and the team that put this show together. Thank you so much for watching. Do stay tuned. Lots more coming up on NDTV Profit.